Hey, what's going on, guys? So Dan here at Stockability. Thanks for subscribing to our video. We're back with another video today. I'm going to be talking about three names in the electrical vehicle space. Obviously, right now, Nikola, Tesla, Helion, if I'm pronouncing that right. The whole EV space is pretty popular. I have friends that are learning to invest using Robinhood or using different apps. I just keep getting questions over and over and over about the EV space. It's pretty popular right now, obviously with the main stocks and some other kind of like penny stocks as well. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing three names that I'm watching, three names that I'm trading, and actually talk to you about how I'm actually placing trades to hopefully extract money from those names. So again, let's get started on this video. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe below, and let me take you right over and let's start talking about these three electric vehicle names. All right, so the first name I'm going to be talking about, it's Helion Holdings Corp. This thing came in an IPO through a SPAC. So SPACs are all the rage right now. If you're not familiar with them, we'll kind of talk about it a little bit later in this video. They've been around for a while, but right now it's everybody in the world's using SPACs. You're seeing them pretty much. I mean, I saw something the other day in a deal with a SPAC. So this thing came through in a SPAC. Pretty interesting story. If you kind of read about it, pretty young gentleman out of Texas, I believe. Again, we'll kind of talk about it and see what they do. So this is a really cool story. I think even recently I saw something about Toyota. If not Toyota, some other company releasing or working on rather or trucks, right? Trucks to transport, kind of like Nikola was as well. So this is an interesting SPAC that came out of the market recently. If you kind of read about it, this did really, really well at the beginning. So what happens with, and I'll talk about it here, a lot of IPOs in the marketplace. So everybody who, whether it was Snapchat years ago, which I was trading IPO, Alibaba in 2014, doesn't really matter what it is. There's always this initial hype in IPO. So for those of you that are new to trading, when an IPO comes out, everybody wants it. Okay, so you have the pre-market, the investors in the A round, B rounds, etc., that own equity in those shares before it actually goes to public markets. So typically, you're going to get this massive rally. Typically, not all the time, when things IPO, then that rally kind of fizzles out, and then you get the next buying spree. So that's typically what happens. So if you bought this IPO, it's pulled back pretty hard. I actually was trading this recently. I'm going to talk about this first and kind of go through and talk about why I'm even trading this in the first place. So the ticker symbol is HYLN. Let me kind of go over here and talk about this. I'm going to go to a daily chart on this and just kind of talk about it. So this thing has been trading pretty hard lower, right? So I think the past 6 days it was kind of off the lows. Or I'm sorry, trading on lows rather. It really is just getting zero rally on this. So yesterday when we got to the lows, and I never really want to pick bottoms in markets, and I want to talk to you about what I was looking at. So when stocks sell off, especially like a stock like Helion, this is a popular stock. There's a ton of volume on it. Everybody's, I call three things in one of our courses called the Short Selling Pro course: fads, frauds, and failures. I'm not going to call it a fad. I don't want to offend anybody for the EV space, but right now the EV stocks are kind of popular. It's fad. Everybody wants a piece of it, so that's kind of what's going on. So when you get a lot of players in these particular stocks, especially in the options chains, what happened is the implied volatility goes through the roof. So the options get really expensive. So it's not as simple as coming in, especially on a stock like Helion, and just buying call options and hoping you're going to make money. Okay, and I'm going to talk about a Nicole example that I remember where there's this mistake as well. So when this got to the lows yesterday, what I started to do is started selling put options on this. So I would never suggest anybody go out and start selling put options unless your account, you have a reasonable amount of money. It's a kind of a riskier strategy, but you could also sell put spreads where you sell a put and you buy a put below it to protect it. And essentially you're banking on the stock price trading higher. So I ran this strategy yesterday and I bought a few calls. The reason that I sold puts on this instead of putting a lot of money towards buying calls is the implied volatility in the calls on this particular stock is pretty high. So even though this thing was up, I think, $4 or $5 today, you can see there's a massive rally on this today. We'll just kind of zoom in on it. Even though this thing was up like extraordinarily well today, the calls moved, but not as much as they should have, right? But the puts, right, all their premium got sucked out of that position. So I did have a few calls, but I was more interested in selling puts. So when you look at stocks, whether it's in the EV space or this, one idea is say, hey, look, I want to buy this stock. You can buy the shares, you can buy calls, you can sell puts. There's different ways to structure trades. So, and I hope I'm not going too far off on this and confusing anyone, but remember this as you're learning about trading in markets. You can't just go out and start buying call options or put options on stocks just because you think it's going to go higher or low. You have to look right? And what the IV is, you have to understand what that options chain is doing. In this particular case, helion, the options chain was just overpriced, so it became ripe for an opportunity. So why would I sell puts other than trying to make money and kind of exploiting that tactic? Well, number two is if I had to take delivery of the shares, I wouldn't mind owning this stock, right, and looking for it to go higher. Why? Because look, right now this EV space, everybody wants in on it. There's a lot of money and capital flowing into this space, so I do think eventually this stock trades higher. Again, I'm not going to buy and hold this thing for 6 or 8 months, but I'll run this in my stock list for the next 6, probably 9 months, because there's a lot of eyeballs on this. So that's idea number one. I'm going to move over to Nicole to talk about that next. Let's kind of jump over and take a look and Nikola. So let's take a look at Nikola. So I literally typed in, hey, Nikola. Obviously, I don't, and let me just talk about it briefly for those of you that are new to our channel. If you're watching for the first time, thanks for subscribing. I don't really look at CNBC or a lot of news to invest in. So if you're watching our channel, you're going to learn that about me, even Sam, my partner as well. So there's kind of like this idea. Let me kind of go back. I don't know why it skipped on me. Let me go back to this here, this headline. So retail investor interest in electric vehicle startups doesn't align with realistic expectations. Look, I agree with that. Right. So CNBC looks like they did a kind of poll on what EVs were doing. So there's companies like Rivian, Fisker, which has been around for a while, which I think are cool cars, and the Nikola. So the Nikola situation, for those of you, no offense, we're under a rock, right? This is a huge kind of a deal with Nikola. So what happened is a big short seller came out in the company, found out that they had essentially pushed this truck down the hill. There's some other discrepancies as well. It caused the stock to crash, right? One of the board members who founded the company basically resigned. But again, don't worry about him. He resigned with quite a bit of money. So I have a lot of opinions on this stock and this company. I'll reserve them or share them later, rather. So on Nikola, let's kind of take a look at this and kind of talk about some things I did with this and what I'm looking to do next. So back here, if you take a look and see, you had this move here. So for those of you remember, there, and you have to understand what the stock did. So, and people I don't think just read the headline. They were paying GM, right? So they had this massive price rally, right, to partner with GM. Then this news comes out, the stock tanks all the way to 15. So this is a pretty drastic move on the stock. So I would short this, but through a different manner, through options. Okay, so right now, the way the stock's trading, right, you're just kind of stuck in this range. So when it traded to 16s, typically what I think you saw on the lows on Nikola was not necessarily people that wanted to buy the stock. I think they saw this as a short squeeze. So everybody that was shorting this stock was forced to buy back shares to get a short squeeze on this. So again, how am I trading this now going forward? Going forward on this particular stock, I want to be short this, okay? So I want to be short this. You've got gap fills down here at 2021. I want to be short this thing back to 15, 16. But how am I actually going to run this short? I'll kind of talk about it here. So I haven't done it yet. I'm going to probably wait till end of day or tomorrow to look at this idea. I'll probably come in on this stock and buy in the money put options that are 90, 120 days out. So I want some duration on this trade. It's going to cost me a little bit more money, but I want to have a short position through in the money put options this particular stock. Now, what I may do as well is I may come in and sell call spreads and sell premium as well. I haven't decided yet, but again, this is kind of what I'm looking at. I don't want to actually short the shares in this, number one. The borrow is too hard for those of you. We'll leave that discussion for later. Number two, I don't trust. There's too much potential for this thing to rally. Some news can come out. It's just not something I want to take on that risk. I can mitigate that risk by deep in the money options. So that's what I'm looking at there. So that's the second EV stock. So I'm going to move on to this now. I'm not even going to bring it up because it really doesn't need kind of an introduction. But it's Tesla. So nobody kind of messaged me on this. I know there's a lot of Tesla fans out there. I like Teslas. What the company does is a different story. But technically, let's kind of talk about this chart and talk about Tesla. So Tesla, basically the past year, has been riddled with Robinhood options traders. So people are just marketing in. I mean, like if I were to look at the options chain now, you'll see options that expire tomorrow, like 100 lot size coming in, 200 contracts coming in, that are $100 out of the money. So it's kind of become a little mini casino on that options chain. So what happened is the options got expensive. So what I've been doing recently on Tesla is not necessarily taking the long view saying, hey, look, I think Tesla is going to be a good company and trade higher, right? That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking at the options chain and say, look, there's opportunity here to sell premium. So I've been coming in and selling put spreads on this stock. Basically, whether it's 2 weeks out, 60 days out, I've been coming in selling a put and then buying a put beneath it as well. Because this is an easier way for me to take in premium and kind of saying, hey, look, A, I think the stock is going to trade sideways, or B, I do think it trades a little bit higher. That's kind of what I've been doing. Now, the second thing I've been doing with this stock is literally day trading the options. So um, right now, and if you saw our Take Stock show with me and Sam Evans, right now this market's really, really hard to hold positions for more than like 2 hours, right? Let alone 3 or 4 days. So right now, you can get these 15, 20, 30 point moves on Tesla where I can come in and scalp 1 or 2 or 3 contracts and make a little bit of money. Now, I'm not holding these positions overnight. I'm just kind of trading momentum move on the particular stock. So those are the 3 EV stocks I've been trading. Those are the 3 EV stocks I've been looking at. All of them are obviously popular. You have a lot of eyeballs on them right now because people want to be involved in that space. And again, the traditional route is, hey, I want to buy this stock and I'm going to hold it forever because it's going to make me all this money. Again, I personally don't take that view. I'm more of a trader. I just look at opportunities. So right now in these 3 stocks, through the options market, through the increased implied volatility on a lot of these options, there's a lot of opportunity. So that being said, those are the 3 stocks. I want to give you guys some information. Thanks for watching first and foremost. If you guys want to learn more about what we do, first and foremost, subscribe below in this video. Just hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notifications bell. If you hit the notification bell on there, every time we upload a video, it'll send you an email and you can watch one of our videos. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing, take the free starter session. This is amazing. You have upcoming dates here. You have the 8th, the 13th, and the 21st. It's led by Susie. She's great. She's one of our coaches and student kind of support here. Take the class with her. It's amazing. You're going to learn a lot. After that, you can take a look at doing an immersion class with Sam Evans, my partner as well. Start there. We have a lot of information on the website that'll help you to start learning on this. I know it's kind of a lot to take in if you're new to trading. Maybe you're not new to trading, but start there. I promise it's easy. It's simple. It's not a long time. It's not 4 hours. It's 30, 45 minutes. You can come in and learn a little bit about what we do. So that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck and good trading.